this should be live. Whoa, that's cool. That's pretty interesting. It'd be nice to have like an instance of chat up as well. I'll go see if I'm actually live. That VR game? Yeah. Yeah, that game does seem quite fun. I'm trying to use all of my brain power right now to like not dox myself because like so I'm recording this, but you're like recording through. There's like three different levels of recording going on, and it's so confusing. Like I'm streaming my screen recording of your screen recording through this screen recording software. And there's already 10 people watching this, so if I mess something up, it'll be really embarrassing. Whatever. I'll just not try to open that. Um yeah. Let me increase the size of this a little bit. All right, what are we actually doing today? No, that's all like fake, dude. That's like fake internet culture. I just talk like I normally do. That's a good question, actually. I've wondered that too, but like, have they tried just like not asking stupid questions and like watching the stream on times two speed until the present? It's their fault. Yeah, true. True. Oh, apparently your audio does not come through the way we have this currently set up. According to some of the people watching this. Other audio doesn't come through. Huh. Weird. I guess. Wait, keep doing that. Yeah, I see what they mean. That definitely is not coming through. According to my audio monitoring bar, it doesn't seem to be coming through at all. No, it's just like straight not coming through at all. Now I can switch to this. Yeah, it doesn't really matter, to be honest. Maybe they can just hear one side of the conversation and they'll have to be okay with that. This is so... Fuck. Can I screen share OBS? Yeah, I can try to screen share OBS. This is gonna be such a mindfuck though, because we're like screen sharing, but I'll see what I can do. So if I share my screen here, this is just figuring out a streaming software stream, I guess. Okay, allow screen. Why is this not working? Share this screen. Okay, you see this. And then let me just move that to there, so I can see both things at once. No, this is official OBS. Well, this is Streamlabs OBS, so yeah, I guess it's a knockoff. Apparently, so you see my audio input capture? If you like make a loud noise, it doesn't register. Whereas if I do, it's like pretty noticeable. Yeah. So I have to figure out how to get the audio from from your side. And then so there's this remote connection which you put in the URL. Let me switch back to... for some reason, I get an echo in that sense. True. I guess there's no harm in that. Yeah, just call me normal. Yeah. All right, let me swing this back over. And then go to Streamlabs. Swing that back over. Go to source 2. All right, audio is here again. Oh, you're calling me, okay. Call ended. Did I?
I thought it was voice. Let me shut my computer up.
Now the problem is though, like I can hold this up and I can even put it on speaker.
Yeah, you're super crapped out in the phone audio. Can you hear me all right in the phone audio?
I can hear you all right, but I don't know.
So I'm gonna listen to you.
Now
God
we're
fucking
getting
damn it, dude.
feedback.
Can I listen to you through my computer and shut off my phone talking to me, but then also have my earbud in so that I can have a microphone that's not trash?
This is ridiculous.
Dude, why can't your phone just call? Like, what? How's your phone messed up right now? Like, what does your phone have to do with any of this?
Wait. So you want me to connect my AirPods to my phone?
Yeah.
But then the speaker audio of the phone won't be captured by this external mic. This is such a convoluted mess of different software. Alright, did you unmute yourself on... Okay. Yeah, there's no way it's this confusing. Although your audio is now... Can you guys hear him, or... Oh, I gotta switch to live chat instead of top chat. I don't know why they even make that distinction. Alright. Yep. Correct. Yep. Yes. Yeah. Hmm. Yes. Yeah, although it's unclear because OBS seems to be receiving. What if I unmute macOS screen capture? Would that do it? That seems like it worked pretty well. Yeah, this is like not the optimal way to do this at all, but oh well. Someone says it's possible to have an unlisted stream, so we could test this without like a bunch of people watching, but that's ridiculous. Why would anyone ever want to see that? Alright, I'm pretty sure you can be heard now. And yes, which is going to be some kind of graphical obsidian like interface. Hmm. Apparently you still can't be heard. God damn it. Hmm. You might have to pull that Excalibur back up. Um, yeah, what other guy? Share my screen. So let me move this window over and then go to, all right. All right, so if I go to Streamlabs, you can see we've got there's two ways I can capture right now. Um, I'm currently like screen recording the entire browser window with this playback in it. And I was hoping that the screen recording would also audio capture what both of us are saying. Um, but that doesn't seem to be the case. And now the alternative is with this remote connection, there's a source you can get called browser source, and that just connects like directly to your URL and should stream both the video and the audio. if I unmute this, I should be audible, but okay. Maybe this worked. There's a weird setting. I don't know if you saw that. Like monitor and output. You're still inaudible though.
If you press the plus button in sources, what are the options? I mean, so wait, here's what's not working out for me is because if that is the complete list of sources and it doesn't include your physical microphone, then how can the stream hear you?
It does include your physical microphone. It's just a sub option of audio input.
No, but I mean the sources rectangle thing here, right? Yeah. We can hear that, hey, it worked, it started working, stop. Dude. Now can you hear me?
Dude, we can hear both, okay. The only problem is, let me not show that. Now I hear severe echo. That makes it slight. No. Yeah, you turn off the original source? What's the original source? No, the echo is not bearable. I'd rather die. Turn monitor off on browser source. Okay. Did that work? Can you hear me? Because I don't hear an echo anymore. Oh, sick. I think we may have cracked the code.
So what was the solution? What even happened?
You have to turn off this setting. Okay, now I think I fixed it. You have to turn off this really annoying setting with and mute the audio capture input. Okay, I'm pretty sure it's working now. It's just you need like you have to turn off these monitoring settings. Okay, finally. God damn.
All right. Wow.
That was real annoying.
OBS just costed us an hour of our lives.
Yep.
Hey. Hey guys, welcome to the stream. All right, for the third time, what we are doing today. So I have this app from last time. Last time I was on the guest star, and you can give it a bunch of ODBC data sources, and it'll like yell at you if you type it in wrong, and it can't connect. And so it maintains this list. And yesterday on my own, I wrote some code that looks at the data source and reads a bunch of information about it, and it's put it in text and right here just so we can look at it. But it's like the driver's reported vendor, and then all the tables it could find and all the foreign keys it could find in the data source. And our goal today is to prettily draw this on the UI so that I can know what tables I have.
Can you zoom in that text in any way? It is pretty difficult to see. Okay, yeah. Yeah, like size 300. There we go. Beautiful.
Make it bigger, so I think. So yeah. All right, so we're using EGUI. I don't really understand the intricacies of EGUI, so we're going to look at a bunch of documentation today, probably. I did some researching.
You're a GUI sayer and not a GUI sayer.
Well, it is GUI, except it starts with E, so it's like,
eGUI.
then why isn't it EGUI? Like,
You could call it that, I don't know, but it's definitely GUI. GUI.
GUI. You know, apparently QT is supposed to be pronounced cute, and it's just like, no, it's not.
Yeah, that no one's doing that.
Like, I would have gone for that if it was not what QT is. All right. This is enough pitching for today. We'll be positive today. All right. So so I'm using eGUI with the framework eFrame, and I'd rather not be doing that. Like, here's main, and like the 10-second explanation is that we're using an immediate mode GUI, immediate mode GUI. So instead of like having a DOM that we update or whatever, we just draw the frame and lay everything out every frame. And everything's much simpler. And now the whole UI is just a function. It's easy. But yeah, this isn't super helpful. So like this is the state for the app. And like the UI is a function of the state. So like, are we starting up? The UI function is just going to read this and have an if statement, and it's all just if statements. And like, are we editing a source? And like, what parts of the source have we updated? And is there something that we need to persist that we're updating? What did, blah, 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 blah. And then here's the function that gets run every frame. We take out a lock on the core, which has a bunch of state, like all of this, the data sources and the data source information is part of shared state because we have to update that asynchronously. And then we process all the commands that we gave from the UI last frame. And we do some sanity checks and we do some other, this is going to get removed. And then we check for some keys. And then we go draw the UI.
Okay.
And then the UI is just like dumb and simple. It's just like, hey, we're going to draw a menu bar now, and it's going to have a menu bar button. And if this button, which I'm drawing in the menu bar, was clicked, then I'm going to do the close, right? So like that's what this is.
Okay.
Then, hey, if there's a persistence problem, we're just going to write problem and then stop drawing this frame and It's like React except not JavaScript, and not a lot of other things, but
and not a lot of weird state callbacks.
No callbacks. It's oh my god, no callbacks.
Yeah.
It's like if the button was pressed as frame, then do the thing. There's no on click.
Yeah.
Like this is literally a function, guys, and like the definition of the function is draw the button on the UI, use the input from last frame and see, oh, was this button actually clicked last frame? And then if it was, we're going to do something about it.
Yeah.
But I use on drag started instead of on clicked because what's his face said stuff from the internet. But I don't know. Anyway, so the first thing we got to do is everything clear so far?
Yeah.
So the first thing I'm going to do is add a second screen, which is not the list of data sources, because we need the data sources list screen to list the data sources. So what I'm going to do is just have like a current screen thing. And this is just a one screen application, I guess, for now.
Okay. What's the data source? I64.
That is the ID of the data source.
Okay. And what does default do? It gives you the default function, which is like a certain implementation when you create.
Yeah, so it derives the default trait, so you can call default and just get a default copy of the object. And so you don't have to initialize it everywhere all the time. You can just have the thing.
Yeah.
All right, so we have a screen, and by default, we're going to be here unless we save something. And then in the update, in the draw UI, we're going to be all like, oh, what did I call it? I'm so dumb. What did I call it?
Match statement's a lot like the switch statement, it seems like, in other languages, but maybe it's comprehensive or.
It's, it's very similar. It doesn't have drop throughs by default. It's exhaustive all the time, but like there's a pretty wide variant of what you do with that stuff. All right, this is all going to be put in a different function.
Why are you putting it in a different function?
Because I don't want to have like a 50-line thing here and then another 50-line thing right after it. I want it to be clear that only one of those happened the whole time.
Oh, I see. Yeah, that's smart.
And then not all the stuff actually needs to get passed down here, but most of it does.
You're passing an instance of core to the this draw method, this draw function.
Yeah. Yeah, so the way it works is that every frame I lock and I get an exclusive reference to the core state. And then I get a mutated thing of it, and I can just do whatever. I actually don't know if it needs to be mutated in this branch, but I don't know. Maybe we'll fix that later.
Yeah, it seems like it would be weird to mutate it during a draw.
So it's not weird because it's a pretty weird construct because I'm planning on making this distributed later. So the core is only the core memory representation of the whatever. And then when it gets written to disk, that's like a worker that periodically reads the in-memory core and puts it down. But we do mutate the core directly.
Huh. Okay.
All right, and then well, it's going to be draw.
Can you quickly give me a rundown, not to slow you down too much, on the difference between, like, in that raw schema view, what's the state, what's the core, and what's the context, and what's the UI?
So the state is just my app up here, which I'm going to when the user closes the app, this gets serialized so that the next time they open it, this is where the UI was and we can just pick up.
Gotcha.
And then the core is like actual domain data. Like this is just like actual list of data sources. This gets read from disk at the beginning, gets periodically persisted to disk. When we make mutations, it's on this and it produces updates which get handled by other things.
Yeah.
So this actually contains all of the stuff over here. And then the context is an EGUI thing. So this includes like what the inputs were for this frame, what all of our outputs are. If we're dragging, if we're mouse down or whatever, it carries a bunch of state between frames to make things easier.
Gotcha. Like key information and stuff.
Yeah, and like was the key down last frame, and like
Yeah.
when did they last click, how long ago and stuff.
Yeah.
And then UI, so like context has a viewport which corresponds to an OS window, and then UI is something that's responsible for allocating rectangles on that window for us to put widgets in.
Gotcha.
So this is, I think it's a linear allocator even. I don't think it's anything complicated at all. So many comments, I can barely read this, but like, it's just a linear allocator. Like you can literally, you're just like, hey, I want to draw a widget that's got to be 100 tall. Please help me. And then it gives it back the space and some other information about if it was clicked last frame or whatever.
Okay.
All right. So just to make sure that this so far makes sense, actually, no, I'm just going to put the actual name of the thing. So if we're in this branch, Vim loves doing that to me. If we're in this branch, then I want to make sure that state dot oh no, I have to pass that in. What source we're editing. And actually, I'm going to handle the case that the source was deleted before we even get here. So if get source for source ID dot is none, or actually, we'll let
if let.
So we're just going to get the source and oh, but I don't want to immutably borrow the thing this whole time.
Borrow checker.
It's borrow checker, but it's like, I think the borrow checker actually has a point here, sadly. All right, so if there is a source, I want to draw it. I guess we're not going to pass the source in. Well, maybe we should just make a copy of the source. Or store a copy of it.
Yeah, how performance intensive would that be? It's not like you're...
Yeah, I mean, it would be basically 0. Because it's not a big... I mean, if somebody has a database with a bajillion sources, it is a big deal. So later we're going to want to make it not copied every time. But for now, we're just going to copy it out if it is there. And if it's not, we're going to change current screen to be something that is not this.
Is the syntax dot cloned or is it clone?
It's cloned because this returns an option.
Gotcha. Weird. Okay, so it'll return an option or none. It'll return a cloned version of the internal type or none.
Yeah, so it converts option ref t to option t by cloning t.
Gotcha.
Because this just returns a ref, the data source.
So it doesn't unwrap it. It just like it kind of destroys the reference by copying, and then you're unwrapping it with if let sum.
Yes. And we're just going to pass a ref here because we are not mutating it. What the hell else am I doing that's dumb right now?
Mismatch type.
Expected a mutable reference to context, but this is not mutable. Why not? And why did it need to, what am I doing? Why didn't it need to be mutable before? Is context just not supposed to be mutable? Oh, it's not. No, it's got interior. I'm the dumb one here. All right.
That's just an EGUI convention that it's not mutable.
Yeah, so it's like it hurts the borrow checker a little bit. It internally synchronizes so that there's less rules about stuff because you really do need to pass it around everywhere and use it in a lot of different situations. So it just has a read-write lock internally.
Yeah, gotcha.
All right, so we can draw the thing now, and I want to be able to switch into the mode of seeing that. We have to specify which one we're seeing. All right, so I'm actually just going to have one that goes to sources.
Dude, the key registering in this is awesome.
What?
Like just the if input and then you pass a callback and then you can arbitrarily check.
Yeah. All right, so I guess we're going to add another button next to edit, which is view, and it will state current. I don't know what this highlighting nonsense is, Sylvan. It's like, what are they doing right now?
In Vim?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
Oh, come on, bro. What did I... Oh. What did I do?
Pointer state.
Yeah, I was fucking around trying to make things pretty because it's a long story. All right.
Okay.
Man, can I make the scale not goofy?
Isn't context like immutable?
No, so it is mutable from our perspective. Well, it's immutable as a reference, so we can't like directly change fields of it, but it has a lock guarding some stuff that we can change through methods.
Yeah.
Dude, I don't know enough about to make it scale, so we're just gonna keep plussing. All right, so we view, and now we're good. All right. And if I press F2, we're back. All right.
Cool. Pretty good GUI design.
Now, we need to mark A. All right. Now we need to draw a graph. So the first thing we need to do.
Wait, what's this? Why are you like ignoring UI.separator? Does UI.separator like mutate and then return something?
Yeah, so all of these draw functions mutate the UI by asking it for, see, they take a mutable reference to the UI because they all have to allocate space for themselves. And then they all return a response, which is like, hey, did this thing get clicked last frame? How much space did you get? Stuff like that. So like when I do UI.button, it returns a response, and on the response I say .clicked.
Interesting. And the response is like almost like an event object that has a bunch of properties.
Yeah, that's what it is.
Cool.
And I don't, there's nothing about separator that I care about, unless maybe we want to click it and say like, hey, you can't click me, silly.
Yeah, that's cool.
All right, so like now to draw the UI graph of all the tables, it's like, so there's the problem of laying out the graph, but first we have to just like actually take out some space for the graph. And I did a little bit of research, and I think that the call is UI.allocate Dude, Vim, what are you doing, bro? And then it's one of these crazy allocate functions. I don't know why they need so many. Like,
Yeah.
so it's just a linear allocator. I mean, it's a little more complicated than that because you can have like, if it's a vertical linear thing that is going on, you can also have horizontal space. Or maybe I'm just making it up, but I don't understand. It's probably that. And then there's the problem of after I get the space, I need to be able to arbitrarily place the things I want to draw in coordinates. And I'm just not quite sure how that's going to work out with what they want us to do here.
Yeah. Gotcha. Hmm. Each should have a minimum desired size.
So we want to fill all the space. So we're going to have to take out available size and then ask for that. So I could do that. Now this sense thing is throwing me off. So the way they do input in this framework is that your widget has a sense object, and then the sense is just a bit field, and you can sense hovers and you can sense clicks and drag, and this is focusable for like being able to keyboard through things.
Yeah. What's the syntax with the double shark?
This is bit shift. So like this is the first bit, and this is the second bit of a number, and this is the third bit.
Gotcha.
So like it's throwing me off right now that it needs a sense because we're not. Oh, I guess I don't really understand how events get propagated through this super well.
Yeah.
We also need. I think we need something with a scope. So is there something that returns a scope? What is this ellipse garbage? Dude, Neovim is going downhill.
Yeah. Yeah. The ellipse character itself, that's ridiculous.
Allocate the given space and add contents to the space, and we get to pass in a function that actually adds the contents. And then do we get to tell it where it's going to put the contents? You know, oh wait, so we can ask for an arbitrary rectangle from the UI by doing rect.
Can you? I didn't see that.
And then I did pre-reading, so I'm kind of bullshit figuring this out, but I also haven't really figured it out yet, but I know a bunch. All right, so this looks pretty good. We're gonna ask for desired size, which is space, and I'm gonna call this available space. Actually, no. Can I inline? Rust Analyzer, you trying to help me out right now?
Doesn't look like it is.
Trying to inline variable, bro. Thank you. All right. So this creates like a sub-allocated space with its own nested thing here. All right, and then this is where we'll draw all of the pretty things. So let's just put a label in here.
That's an interesting strategy. For testing purposes, you should probably make the default view that one you want to work on.
Yep. We don't have an ID to make it. We're gonna make it this one. I use a special tmux copy. Can't just freaking copy things.
Good old tmux.
All right, so by default, it'll open that one, and we'll just promise not to delete that for now. All right. wish I could make the scale not so silly, but oh, you know what? Is it core dot viewport? How do I make the window close with exit? Let's quit. Is there something in here about scale? No. No, all right.
Probably not worth it.
All right. So that was a lot easier than I thought. I thought we were going to have to fight it a lot.
Yeah.
All right, so now we need to assign every node a position. So we have the data source, and the data source has an info, and the info may not exist. And if it doesn't exist, I don't want to crash right now. So I'm just going to assume that it exists.
What does the info contain?
It contains, hang on. So, okay, the data source is like the persistent real data, and then info, I'm deciding what I want to do here if this doesn't exist. So I feel like we shouldn't even be in this code path if it doesn't have an info with a schema, but that's going to be a weird invariant to maintain that I'm going to fuck up later. So I'm just going to make it behave gracefully, and it's going to be all like, listen, draw, dude, I have nothing to draw for you.
Yeah, that seems reasonable.
All right, and then we can pretend that we have an info, and in info we have a schema. We might have a schema. So it's like, it's annoying because it's a legitimate case that we don't have every single part of this, because the driver or whatever can just be like, no, I don't know.
Yeah, definitely a little bit of borrow checker hell, but or not borrow checker, unwrapping hell, but I guess it's worth it.
All right. So now we have the schema. In the schema, I have, so this is my actual definition for things. We have, I'm doing everything in protobuf because it makes persistence and stuff easier. I mean, it doesn't, but it's a long story. So the schema has a bunch of tables and a bunch of foreign keys, and that's it, and it's so simple. And then a table, I wanted to just have an ID that the source system considers to be the ID for the table. Because if you look at a database, if you're like designing a database and you're serious at all, you're just going to have numeric IDs that are stable for the life of the table. But ODBC like does not make that assumption, so I can't actually populate this. So I changed its meaning to be something else. But so the way ODBC uniquely identifies things is that every entity has a catalog name, a schema name, and a table name. And those are 3 strings. And these top 2 may not even exist sometimes. So I have to do triple string tuple nonsense to match things. And it's like, I could sit here and be clever and like fake IDs, but I don't think that's really a good idea.
Yeah.
And then also ODBC gives a table type, and it's one of these strings according to Microsoft, but also the implementation can just put whatever it wants in here. And then it has a remarks field, which is the description. It was making it sound like it's the table comment, but I'm not. Postgres doesn't seem to be giving me that.
Yeah. Damn, that's a lot of different variants you have to consider.
So the trick here is to not have one path per possible invariant combination, because then you have exponential or factorial paths or whatever. Just like my goal here is to have exactly one code path and not diverge at all. And if something's going wrong, we're just going to fake it.
Okay. I mean, let's see how you're gonna cut through those different variants.
So we need to have a position for every table.
Yeah.
For now, I'm just going to bullshit some stuff because I don't know.
Vec to keep track, and then
now I want the position of the tables to be stable across restarts and across schema changes. To get it across schema changes, we're going to have to actually add a field to the table struct called ID or called position or whatever. And then when something new is added, we're going to have to like intelligently try not to fuck everything up. But for now, we're just going to guess because we need to guess anyway to get the initial positions.
yeah. Why do you necessarily need to store the position on each of the objects instead of like something that will let you deterministically recalculate their positions?
Because the stuff that we would be using to deterministically recalculate can be changed arbitrarily. Like the set of tables on the system can get whatever can happen to it without our control.
Right. Yeah.
So then the other part of this is I want to be able to zoom in and out and move around, which means that we need to put all of the nodes onto their own coordinate plane and then project that plane onto the screen. So what that means is that I have to go to my app, and then I need to go, maybe I'll put that inside this. Maybe not. So the way this math works is that it's got to be like, I'm going to call this, man, what are I going to name this? Stable plane because, or device independent plane.
Yes.
And then I have the screen. And so the screen is, well, I'm just going to, like the screen is a window onto the independent plane.
Yeah, but it could also, it could be bigger than the independent plane.
So we need to be able to take independent coordinates and map them into screen coordinates.
Yes.
And when we click things, we need to be able to go there, or we don't need to be able to go the other way, I think, because the framework is going to deal with that nonsense.
Yeah, okay. Yeah.
So we need to store enough information in the UI state to know where this stuff is. So I'm gonna go. I'm gonna do top and left, I think, in independent. So we know this position in the device plane, and then I'm gonna do width and height of the view. And there's like different sets of information you can specify here, but that's just the feeling I have. I've done this a few times for half-assed games. But
Yeah.
now I'm wondering, should I put this inside of the schema view thing, or should I put it inside of the app thing? And now, in answering that question, it's like, if I leave the screen and come back, I want it to remember where I was in the looking area. And I want to remember that per source. So I actually think that I need to have like a proper hash map here.
Does Rust implement one?
Yes. All right, maybe I'll like struct. What is this called? Independent. See, I think somebody else is using viewport already, so we're gonna wait until I get kicked by that. No, I don't want EGUI hash map, thank you.
Why do they have their own hash map?
No idea.
Why would they even export it to? Like, I get it if they need some internal hash map for a specific UI optimization case or whatever, but like, why export that publicly? It's weird.
Well, it's like if you got to integrate with them, they probably pass it around and stuff. And like generally, keeping that stuff secret is a burden in terms of having to interface with them.
Gotcha.
Yeah, I think that this is an F32 style library, but I'm not. I'm gonna try it out. All right, and then this is in game, or not in game, but in
And the width and the height are going to be measured from like the top left of the box that you're constructing, or are you measuring from the center?
I'm gonna do top left.
Yeah.
All right, we're just gonna do a super duper dumb layout. What does it want? I opened my terminal's documentation. Oh, what the hell am I even doing right now? Okay. We only need one viewport, and that's the viewport. I don't. Man, what did I name the thing 10 seconds ago? This is so hard for me. All right, so it may not exist yet. So we're going to get an entry, and we're going to put in the data source ID. And this might not be real yet. So if it is occupied, we're just going to give that back. And if it's not, what? Not good enough to use this interface. Okay.
Where's this view?
And if it's empty, oh, all right. That's what's going on. And we're going to insert. Does this give us back? Yes, it does. All right. A new viewport, which we will make. It will be left. What's the default scale going to be?
Yeah.
Are there any meaningful units to make, to use in the independent space?
It's a good question.
So like later, we're gonna have to like scan the schema and come up with a default guess that isn't brain dead. But for now, we're gonna do negative. So these are floats too. All right. So I'm gonna go with this heuristic. 1 unit of independent space one unit of independent space is enough to put one visually reasonably sized drawing for a graph node. All right, and I think 5 graph nodes is enough. We're gonna go top. Is it -5? We're using top left as 0, 0. And also, this doesn't work because we have an aspect ratio of the screen, but that's something else to do.
Yeah.
And so now we all, what do you want? It's not a float. I can't tell that it's a float. I don't know. How do you know it's a float?
Can't you put an F also instead of just a 0?
Really?
Like 5F? No.
No, you have to say, I don't know what it is. And then the position, all right, so the position is going to be left, comma, 0, because that's the top left. And then we're going to be all like left plus equals 1. You know, to just do that. Okay. Okay. Jesus. All right, so now we have a position for every node. And
yeah, sure.
allocate, and then I'm going to allocate the actual thing that I'm drawing for the node.
These are going to be at they're just going to be in like a line.
Yeah. Oh. So I actually have to allocate another UI, I guess. So I can just, but this doesn't let me pick where I put it.
Does that even? Oh yeah, ignore the layout of the UI, just put the widget here.
So this, all right, like here's the silly thing. So like we're not using the layout, we're just ignoring it. So we're gonna take out a rect 0 on it. So it's like the layout doesn't actually tell us where we have to draw things. It just tells us where we're expected to draw them. And then when you're painting things, you can just paint stuff wherever, and there's no, as far as I can tell, there's no like relative offsets stuff. So what I need to do is tell the button that I'm going to draw to go there. But I don't think that the label and the generic stuff actually has a like, hey, ignore all previous instructions, draw here.
Yeah.
So we have to put it in a layout that's there. So we have to get the layout to be there somehow. Maybe I can tell the cursor to go somewhere. No. Oh. Create a UI with the properties of the given builder. Oh, so this is for us to create our own UI, and maybe that's what we got to do.
And the builder gives you like lower internal control.
Yeah.
Layer. Yeah. Oh, someone says the text is blurry. I kind of forgot we were streaming.
This text is blurry on the UI.
No, maybe just the stream quality is bad. I mean, it does look pretty awful from my perspective, yeah. Huh. Oh man, why is streaming so difficult? Oh yeah, that does look awful. Someone said don't fix the quality. uh,
This is Sylvan Fall, guys. My screen is beautiful.
you're in 420, but looks like oh, also I don't think they can see us fully. The output we're getting from this is too long. It's not overlaid. I could do this. Could make everything tiny. And then we're both on it again.
Layered UI. Oh, you're like trying to put our faces on it?
Yeah. Problem is like it's the way the layout is working is it's just like appending us to the side of the screen instead of like overlaying. Customize. Add a label. There's all these different things you can do. Oh, I see. I see. Okay. Yeah, all right, keep reading the docs for a sec. I'm gonna try to make this look less ass. Just because this one guy is bugging me about it. If I get rid of this source, you're not gonna be able to hear us for a sec. So
Oh, we gotta use area. Of course, we have to use area.
God, why do I have to do stream engineering? I just want a program. It's so confusing. What would really be ideal is if capture group scene. No. I kind of want to capture like a custom scene. The thing is like we're not going to be able to see this super well for a short amount of time. All right, I'm gonna try to do this. I'm gonna lose a little bit of context. You're gonna have to catch me up, but
Right.
if I okay, now it's just me. Hello. Should be a way to have different. God damn it.